Hey everybody, just doing a quick little market update on Bitcoin. So from yesterday to today, it's been mostly sideways. We're getting a little bit of breakout moving back to the upside now as TradFi is getting some late afternoon Friday recovery, a little bit of take profiting and buyback, but overall, it's still definitely down. TradFi getting absolutely brutalized in the last couple of days. Big things on the market side, non-farm payrolls very high, extremely much higher than expected, but unemployment rate also still rising. So we should see that carrying on through April. Realistically, the expectation is that the pain will continue as far as the data that comes out until May, when the FOMC, the Federal Reserve, is going to be effectively very incentivized and to start cutting rates as quickly as possible as the U.S. economy on paper starts to slow down. For next week, just looking for Monday specifically. Nothing going on until you get into Wednesday with some the FOMC meeting minutes. But realistically, Thursday and Friday is when stuff's going to start coming in. CPI data, PPI data, very critical. High volatility period, especially pre-market Thursday with that. Going on to Bitcoin, focusing on the local price action. This is just the order book heat map. Big things that we saw, big flush out as of the tariff announcement, the counter reciprocal tariffs from China and stuff, but exacerbated the down move as soon as we started breaking stuff. We're stepping up now to retest those highs. Let's see what happens. We're here at 84.4. If we do have some local losses, we just see some settling going into the weekend. Expect some movement on the weekend. It's been the same. It's been that way for a couple of weeks, and that's still the general plan. But for right now, if you're looking just on chart, there is some blocking structure up here at 85K, and then below us we have some blocking structure 81.8 to potentially hold the lows. But watch us stabilize, potentially going into the close. Going over to the chart, big thing that we have here, 4 hour, nothing too crazy to say. We looked really bad last night, and I said, hey, if we close back above and gain Q2, we'll see what happens if we test March. We're testing March. It's all bearish testing still, unfortunately. There's nothing really being gained back. Ideally, we would actually leg up and gain March and go into this area for a close going into the weekend. But realistically, this is probably we're going to be where we will be stuck going into the weekend, somewhere between March and the Q2. But for right now, we are seeing some buyback. Let's see if we get some relief going into the weekend. And of course, the Sunday close is going to be everything. So looking high time frame, just explaining where we want to go and where we want to be. We're still weekly time frame, underside retesting a lot of structure. We need to be gaining back levels, especially not closing new lows and losing blocks, losing order blocks effectively. So worst case close is closing under 82.3. Best case close, at least on the local structures, closing above 86K. But likely we're going to be stuck in there going into the weekend. Looking a little bit lower time frame, just on the daily down. We've had the rig retest, obviously, of the highs. Nothing really to say here. Any closes that break underneath this weekly open and the Q2 on the daily, I'm expecting us to do a flush to 78.5, where we have lots and lots of structure to retest. Plus, we've tested the support several times. The more support is tested, the weaker it becomes. Gaining above the previous weekly is the only possible way to get us higher, and that's getting back above 86K. Looking back lower time frame into the local structure, big things here are we are at some localized resistance. There's a potential failure right here to come back down to retest structure and then settle a little bit going into the weekend. Last Saturday saw quite a bit of movement and dumping downside. I would not be surprised if we saw some movement going over the weekend. It's been kind of the general plan. So if we want to see something gained back right here, we're likely to see some resistance to come back down. Gaining above to then retest some structure around 86K is definitely possible if we gain some localized structure. Again, we're going into the Friday evening, and there's not a whole lot really that's telling us we're going to break out higher, as we have so much resistance above us. So watch for some settling price action. It's been kind of rough today with all the volatility index. The VIX has hit 45. So pretty wild stuff across the board. Best thing here is watch this to see if on lower time frames if we potentially get a reversal to come back down. Other than that, the gain is what invalidates the localized short. But I think that would actually, risk reward wise, be pretty decent just from here's and us breaking down. Like I said, gaining this should see retest higher to previous daily opens and potentially last week's weekly open. So, like I said, it's a little bit of a wash this day, not really a whole lot going on. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays are always the best days for trading. And right now, we just want some market settling and then going back into some nice trending price action to get us out of this overall range. So until then, take it easy, watch the local price action. And if, like I said, if we do start failing, you get some type of pushback, there's a potential short here. But I think everyone's trying to short this. Everyone's really feeling bearish on the market. So could surprise you. Take it easy. Catch you Monday.